Alright, here we are. It's a lovely afternoon. We're sitting here with Gail Brown. We're going to do a short interview to determine some of the things that she's interested in and a few of her opinions. I'd like to go ahead and ask her, what do you look for in a story, or in maybe a book story or even a movie story that would really capture your interest? What kind of story are you looking for?
Well, I like a lot of different type stories. They can be fiction. Of course, obviously for me, I love romantic books. And science fiction is probably a story. It could be a book, preferably a movie when it's science fiction. I really enjoy just letting my mind go completely way out, and it kind of takes me away from my normal life.
But what do you look for to happen in a story? Is it something that should happen with the main character, or?
Well, it depends on what type of story we're talking about. If we're talking about science fiction, it has to have, it has to have good characters, and it has to have interplay between the characters. There has to be something that is very interesting with them and their relationship. And I like it to have a mystery to it. I like it to have excitement, kind of pull you along into the story and into the characters' lives. And then, you know, it can be just totally way out, which is fine with science fiction. I don't mind that, but I still like it to have a relationship between the characters.
Okay, very good. Are there any stories or movies that you've seen recently that stand out as being a good example of what should happen in a story to make it interesting?
Well, off the top of my head, off the top of my mind, right off the bat, I would come up with It's Complicated, which was a movie with Meryl Streep and I can't remember the guy's name. Alec Baldwin. And you start out, you know, feeling sorry for the main character, because she's been divorced for all these years and her husband went off with somebody else and everything. But you get so involved in the characters and the children, and it's just a hilarious movie, and it just really hits home with life and people and their relationships, I think, and how people grow and change as they get older. And in the very end, you actually end up feeling sorry for the husband, which, you know, it's a woman's movie, obviously, but it's funny and it's true and it's realistic. And I just really like that movie.
Okay, well, what advice would you give any young directors or filmmakers starting out? When they're trying to think of a story idea or how to develop their story?
Well, I think somewhere it has to connect with the people watching the movie, the story. So there has to be some connection there. And if it's just the characters that people are connecting with, I think then that's really good. It could be the storyline, something that happens, a major event, or a commonplace story, something that happens to people all the time, but they have to connect somehow. And I think that's what really makes a good story.